If a dog could paint a self-portrait, maybe it would look like this.
I want to do my best to make sure that I capture the likeness of that dog the way that dog would like to be portrayed.
12 years ago, Arizona artist Ron Burns discovered his calling, his passion, painting shelter dogs.
At the shelter, these dogs are looking for homes, and there's a really emotional cry there for that.
Burns begins every work with the eyes.
Once I get those eyes painted, and they are the eyes of that dog, that to me is the window to their soul.
From the realism of the eyes, Burns captures the dog's personality and spirit with a flurry of color. Burns probably would have gone on painting shelter dogs, but then his world, our world, changed.
Search is underway for those who are behind these evil acts.
People weren't the only victims on September 11th. Search and rescue dogs also died. Sirius was one of them. An explosive detection dog, he was buried in the collapse of Tower 2. A story that deeply affected Burns.
On the day that they're called into battle, so to speak, they give up their life for all the rest of us to go to try to find human beings and to find someone.
It changed his art.
At that point, I started to broaden my scope of what kind of dogs give back to us humans and make our lives richer and more fulfilling. And I started painting those, which then turned out to be a book.
A book entitled The Dogs of Ron Burns. He calls it a tribute.
The purpose for me for doing the book is to pay homage to dogs.
He's flanked by some of those dogs. Valak and Sky, the first rescue dog to enter the burning Pentagon. And a pet therapy dog named Sophie. For days, she gave rescue workers at Ground Zero unconditional love in an unforgiving place. Ron Burns finds his inspiration in a number of interesting ways, sometimes in a huge pile of rubble. This is where Burns discovered River, Zlata, and Soraya, search and rescue dogs training on this South Phoenix rubble pile. Their mission? Find John.
Get him out of there!
The reward? A fuzzy, squeaky toy. Burns fell in love with a trio and immortalized them on canvas. River's handler, Renee Shannon, thinks Burns captured River perfectly.
She has that look on her face like, I'm looking back at you, I'm so happy to be here, I'm like a working dog, I'm not in the kennel. This is just a great life. That's how I see it.
And that's how Ron Burns sees it. And thankfully for us, paints it.